day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Day by day, day by day. Oh, dear Lord, three things I pray. To see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day by day by day by day.
All right. Good morning. Now we'll go into prayer. Prayer is the universal language of spirit. I invite you to enter into this time of prayer, opening your minds and hearts to the sacred presence of the Most High. Divine Spirit within us, we acknowledge your presence and blessing that we are centered in love as we move through the transition that we're in finding our new minister. We listen to guidance with wisdom, love, deep knowledge, and clear discernment. We embrace change creatively and know that as one door closes, another opens for us. The still small voice will guide us, and we will access the power that brings us to wholeness. We continue to do our inner work, and with divine guidance, we take appropriate outer action. We open with curiosity and faith to all the new and unexpected ways our needs are met. We are happy and grateful for the blessing of having Dr. Michael Murdad with us here this morning. And we know that we are the ones that we're waiting for. And so it is.
So it is. Okay, so we're going to use our left and our right brains because we're going to go back and forth between the son and the daughter and the son of the king and the queen and the queen and the king. I am the one I am waiting for. I hope. Here we go. I am the one I am waiting for. Yes, I am. I hope. I am the one I am waiting for. Yes, I am.
Thank you, Meg. That was perfect. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Jane Cowan, the Director of Operations here, and I'm going to be platforming this morning for our guest speaker, Michael Murdad. It's always good to have Michael back. He has been very supportive of us on many levels as we're going through this transition, looking for a new minister. So I will, yes, thank you. I'll introduce Michael a little bit more later. Unity on the River is a center of celebration and transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Please hold these truths in your heart as we join together and say our mission and vision statements. The mission statement: we are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And the vision statement: centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. Now I'd like to welcome everyone who is here with us for the first time this morning. If you are, would you please raise your hand? We have a flower for you. Great. Excellent. So good to have you here. Just keep your hands up. The flowers are coming around, but they'll need to be able to find you. There's some right. We've got lots of new people today. This is fabulous. We bless you and thank you for coming. Someone from our welcome team will introduce themselves to you after the service and take you to our welcome table and give you a CD that tells you a little bit more about us and about Unity. Thank you for being with us. We welcome all paths to God. You enrich our experience together, and please join us after the service in hospitality. Do we have any first-time streamers today? Just curious. Let us know, Mark, because we welcome them too. This year, we're on a journey to connect with our inner guide and enhance our personal relationship with the Christ within. We are also finding ourselves in transition and using life's changes as spiritual awakening. In that vein, I want to give an update on our search for our new minister. We announced a couple weeks ago we had scheduled with a candidate that we had invited to come and speak on August 3rd to our community and to meet the community and be our first candidate. Last week, we heard back from this person, and good for her, she accepted another position. Not a problem, exactly. She got a position as an assistant minister in a very large church and felt that it was, and I would agree with her, a perfect opportunity for someone. She was right out of ministerial school. And personally, she felt it was perfect for her. So we bless her in her new venture, and we just stay really present with where we are and our guidance and know that our perfect next minister is coming to us. And we continue to hold that prayer and bless that person in as they come towards us. We've also filled out the August calendar. Tulani de Marseille will be speaking on August 3rd. And Reverend Denise DeSimone is going to be back on August 10th. I'm hoping the topic she gets from God this time will be about all the cool places to go in Italy. She's promised us that. Okay, so now I'll invite Carol up to do some invitations.
I stand in the presence. Just two announcements this morning. As you know, Michael is our guest speaker, and he's going to talk about being conscious and awake. His workshop is this afternoon, Creating Fulfilling Relationships. Is he laughing back there? No. He wouldn't do that. And just a few things on the workshop this afternoon. It's actually going to start at 12:15 instead of 12:30. And there is a light lunch in hospitality. It's $5, and it's sandwiches, water, chips, salad, that sort of thing. So please join us. Also, the cost of the workshop is $35, but no one is turned away if you'd like to come.
Thank you, Carol. Now is the time in our service that we greet each other in love. So I'm just loving our streamers today. Turn around and say namaste to our streamers, please. Welcome. And here, as we greet each other, we do it with either a handshake or a hug. I invite you to say, I see you, I see the divine in you, I see your beauty, I see your possibility. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming back. We have a long-distance namaste that's just been sent in from Carol Bolter, who many of our longtime people know her from years back, but she's out in Montana, and Cheryl and Catherine were out to see her, and they sent the message back. So, hi, Carol, if you're watching. All right, now, Meg is back for our next song. I Am Awake. This is an original work of Meg's.
Good morning, everybody. Namaste. I stand in the presence. I wrote this song to remember what I know to be true. At the very core and essence of every one of us, we are awake to the presence of God and the Holy Spirit. And so we remember it. And please sing when the chorus comes around. Oh. I'm not awake. I'm waking up. Here it is. Take a breath with me. Not what I've done, I am. Not what I've become, I am. Not anything to show, I am. Not anything I have to know. I am awake. not my story or my scars. Nothing to be done, no wars to be fought or won. I am more than I know, more than I show. The universe and stars, forever and beyond the beyond. I am already. Join us. Keep singing. A new earth, a new way, a new hope is born in me today. A new earth, a new way, a new hope is born in me today. A new earth, a new hope, a new way is born in me today. I am awake. I
Thank you, Meg. You are awake and we are awake all together. It's now my pleasure to introduce. What do I know? Oh,
Share both.
okay. Could everybody squeeze in if there's empty seats between you and share bulletins because we're out, which means we have way more people here today than we anticipated.
keep it going, everybody.
I noticed the extra row of chairs coming in back there. That's always a sign that Michael's here. So, Michael is a world-renowned spiritual teacher, healer, and author. He's been coming to Unity on the River for 2 to 3 times a year for about 4 years, maybe longer. And he just keeps getting better and better. He's been transforming lives of thousands of people with his teachings and his guidance to live from the Christ within. He always comes with love, light, clarity, directness, simplicity, a certain irreverent sense of humor, joy. He's a bearer of all these things. Please join me in giving a warm Unity on the River welcome to Michael Murdad.
Thanks.
that it? She fell asleep on the keys. Well, if you actually believe I'm that good, why didn't you prepare for more chairs and bulletins? I'm kidding. Kidding. Anyway. So as I've heard, we're talking about being conscious and awake today. So let's talk about that. It's probably wise for us to begin with the idea, and although it may even be a challenging idea, it's kind of interesting when we introduce ourselves, or, kind of that identity idea, which I've shared here before, the importance of identity. Who are we after all? How are you? Nice to meet you. Your name. You give your name, and sometimes maybe a little further than that. But really, who are we? They say we're the sum total of our past experience, which is interesting. Because some of us think we're made up of past genetics. That's actually not true. You're not made up of your genetics. Your genetics were designed by you before you even arrived. This would be just the right family to work on certain dysfunctions. This family's going to give me a little bit of the certain IQ. This family will give me a little this and that. It's sort of designed, but it's still designed by us. This is an intelligent universe, and in more ways than we can imagine. Intelligent design doesn't mean somebody said, there, I think this will work. You, boom, in there and work it out. This is all co-created by us on every level. Every cell, every particle of our being reflects our consciousness. So if by chance we've designed or picked up a strange family, which most of us have, somehow it's perfect. It's perfect to either represent where we want to go or what we no longer want to do. And so it's a bidding farewell. And genes can change. Science is finally coming to understand this, but even genetics can change. Everything in this universe is mutable. Everything is changeable. It just takes the consciousness to do it. And just because we've learned to believe that it's not changeable, and so it is. And it stays unchangeable as long as we continue to believe it's unchangeable. And then it's amazing because the way particles of reality or matter work is they move based on the observer. So if enough of us decide this is all changeable, then it starts to become relaxed and more mutable. And that's in quantum physics as well as metaphysics. So who are we? Then there's the past lives. We're made up of seemingly just our past. But these past, it's who you've been. I have been this, so that's why I'm that. I have been here, so now that's why I'm there. This is how much prosperity I have believed in, so that's all I can believe in. And that actually means we're only living in the past. Of course, in Miracles is very clear about that. I see nothing as it is now. I see only the past, and that's what it means. I don't know what anything is, because it's only based on my past perceptions. But that starts with me, even myself. So everybody actually lives in a trance of the past. And it is actually like a hypnosis of a negative type. Everybody's living in a trance that isn't even true. These, I have been here, I have been here, I have been this, I have been that. And that's it. We're made up of genes, we're made up of addictions, and this is now who we are. And to me, these have-beens are has-beens. They're not reality, they're not now. They're gone. So who am I today? And what's amazing is people are actually terrified at the unknowns, they call it, but it isn't unknown because the present moment, God has determined what we are. And in the present, we discover I am as God created me to be, and I always will remain as God created me to be. So we do services, and we do healings, and we do breath work, and we do books, and we do this and that, and circles, and drumming, and all kinds of things, which must look freaky to God. Pranayama, yoga and reading and pass the stick so I can cry more about my parents and whatever. It's got to look just a tad dysfunctional. You know, and there's God going, and then there's Jesus going, I know, man. Why do you think I jumped on the cross? I want it out of here. No. So, picture what this looks like. I'm becoming more spiritual with the, you know, Om Mani Padme, Boom Shakalaka, and, you know. It's like, and there's just always one more thing to do. I'm starting to feel so spiritual, and somebody go, did you hear that the latest thing is memorizing the 70,000 names of God? Oh, no, I didn't know that. Now you got to start, you know, doing something else. And then, oh, they just discovered new asanas in yoga. You got to learn these. And, oh, I see, you still eat. Anyway, there's always some dysfunctional person telling you what you don't have. The checkout stands at the stores, what you don't have. Did you know? Oh, no, I didn't know that. You know, and it's always some bizarre thing. And people, this is what Buddha called grasping. You forget who you are and you start reaching. And as soon as you start reaching, it's called doing instead of being. I am as God created me to be. And there's nothing wrong with all the things I'm just describing, all the dysfunctional things. There's nothing wrong with any of them except they keep validating who I'm not. Because every bit of the doing is not the being. And there's still a way to do these things properly. Do them from being. Instead of from getting, I need. There's even the idea of people saying, I need to be heard. Really? Why? Everything's already okay. No, but I need to be heard. Oh, I see. All these needs means I'm not. There's what I am and there's what I'm not. And this world keeps perpetuating what we're not. And we live in a trance. So it's technically proper to say it's about waking up. So all the things you could have said of Buddha. Buddha, who are you? Are you a god? Are you this? Are you that? They ask him these questions. No, he just says, I'm just awake. What a brilliant answer. And it's some of us go, oh, you know, awake, and they start analyzing the meaning. It doesn't need analyzed. It's perfect. I got it, is what he's saying. But the words I'm awake instead of I got it are even better. Because I got it means I got it. I realized something. Oh, so he's realized. Yes. But it's more than that. He said awake for a reason. It means when you're not awake, you're asleep. And that's how he's different. The world is all asleep. Everyone is in a trance. And they're living the not who I am. I am and I am not. And they're living the I am not. Are you healthy? I am not. Are you prosperous? I am not. Are you eternal? I am not. Because everyone seems to die at some point. We keep living the I am not. And sometimes in more subtle ways than others. But we're living the I am not. There's more waiting for us, but we have to wake up. One of the most important tools, techniques, methods of waking up is questioning the reality of this. It's okay to be here, to be in the world, but don't be of the world. It's okay to be here. It's okay to still eat. Just recognize the truth behind it. You know, have a little bit of a levity inside. You know, it's all right. Don't go, God, I don't understand. Why do I still have to eat food? I've been going to Unity for weeks now. I should be enlightened, you know. It's more important to do it with a smile inside. More like, isn't this funny? Isn't this funny? I still have to use a car to get somewhere. When in fact, I'm everywhere. And learn to laugh at these ideas. Because what happens is, this concept of treasures in heaven, you're actually building treasures, which means consciousness, in higher dimensions when you start living those dimensions here, as though it's already true. Well, then Michael's saying, don't do the asanas, don't do the yoga, don't do this. No, I didn't say that. I said, don't do those things. Be in the presence and do those things. Then you're doing without doing. The difference is, are you grasping for something? Do you really need that one more thing? Or are you already okay? So affirm that you're already okay. And it's okay to diet. But just know that refuse to believe that you are based on your past. You are based on other people's opinions. Because none of it's true. It can't be true. Nobody's opinions of you. Do I look fat in this? Why do you ask? It's not true, whatever they say. And they're probably lying anyway. No. But it's not true. Yeah, I understand that you want to look a certain way. That's fine. But grab the okayness inside first. It's all right. It's all right to do the things people do. They get a tuck of this and a pull of that and an implant and whatever. It's fine. But it doesn't determine who you are. So do the things to reflect how you choose to feel inside. Don't do them to feel different. Do them because you feel different. Do them as an expression. Because nothing in this world offers you anything. Not because it's wrong and bad out there. That's the fundamental Christian idea. It's different. It offers you nothing because it isn't even there. It isn't there. The world that we would choose to seek validation from isn't even there. Am I smart enough? Well, I don't know. Let me get a degree so that I am now the degree. What happens when you move and you lose the paper? Panic attacks, anxiety. I looked into buying a house, and it was interesting because they say, well, we need this from you and that. I don't have anything. I don't have anything. And so, do you have, it's interesting. Hold on one second. Change lines, call ex-wife from 20 years ago. Do you have our divorce decrees? She goes, yeah, somewhere, It's like all this past-oriented stuff. And then they say, how much do you have in savings? I go, I don't know because I don't have a savings account. Well, why don't you save money? Because I give away anything that's beyond what I need. If I get extra, I give it. What an insane, bankers are like, oh, this poor guy, like, woo. And I'm sitting there going, poor bankers, woo. So we're asking ourselves and others to live in a very dangerous reality because it's not one supported by this world. You are based on what? You're never complete unless you have a family. You're never complete unless a woman has a baby. That's all untrue. Nothing these people say is true based on religion, culture, or any other, story. None of it's true. We remain as God created us to be. These are just games that we play. So we have to learn to say, what's up? What's up with this? So the main technique and tool for waking up is not the books and the circles and whatever else we do. Those are supposed to either be just more doing or a reflection of being. You can have a room like this. Everybody attends. Some of you are attending out of doing, and some of you are attending out of being. You're being, and it looks the same. I mean, you can't tell which faces are which. It's not like the doers are like this and the beers are like this. You can't really tell. But the being is this affirmation. I'm here because this reflects who I believe I am. It reflects who I choose to be. The love, the circle, the laughter, the hand-holding, the hugs, the songs. Yes, this is me. Not, I got to go there or else. I can't have a good week unless I go to Unity. that's a lot of pressure on us. But it's understandable, because if you feel that way, that's okay, because that's a stage. Now, all you have to do is recognize that that's what you're doing. And then say, I'd like to change tracks. I want to live more from being. And again, the main tool is this: question things. Question everything. Jesus asks his apostles, who do you think I am? Do you think he needed their opinions? Listen, I'm feeling really insecure today. Please tell me something good. Am I doing a good job, guys? I just did this Sermon on the Mount thing, and there were moments when I was like, I didn't know. Okay, I just didn't know what to say, so I was like, our Father who art in heaven, I just kind of made up a prayer. Do you think, really? So Jesus isn't asking them, who do you think I am? He asks them so they'll wake up. And they're like, well, we think this, some of the people in town are saying, really, okay, just keep it going. And then one of them goes, I'm glad you asked that question. I think you're the Christ. And he's like, yes, we have a winner. And for the rest of the apostles, we have beautiful parting gifts. Tell them what they get, John. Well, we have some semi-ascension. No. Anyway. Anyway. Hi, streamers. Bet you wish you'd have gone golfing like you planned. Anyway, sorry. Oh, man. I'm usually not like this. Anyway, so really, he's asking, do you see the beauty of that? He's asking them so that they'll come out. See, they're sleeping. By asking questions, they had to go, They had to come out. They had to wake up. And he's going, yes, Peter, that's right. Excellent. He says, your head, your mind, your humanness did not answer that question. The Holy Spirit in you answered that question. Because only the Christ in you, Peter, could see the Christ in me. And thanks for having the courage to say it. Ask questions. The so-called, Adam and Eve myth. God comes to the garden after they have fallen, sinned, and so on. Suddenly they're feeling shame and they're hiding. God says to them, where are you, Adam and Eve? They're like, oh, we're over here. What are you doing over there? We're hiding. Why are you hiding? Because we're naked. And God says, who told you that? See, God's hoping by saying it, even if it's a mythology, God in the story is saying, who told you that? Why did God ask them a question? It's God. If anybody told him, he'd go, yeah, I got it. I know who it was. No, he asks them so they'll go one way, one direction. They could go, yeah, that's right. If God didn't tell us, then it's not true. But they didn't. They believed it. God said, who told you that? And they did not answer properly. They stayed in the guilt and shame. So when you say, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not smart, or whatever, just remember God, who told you that? And if I didn't tell you, then it isn't true. That's right. That's right. Only God is real, and only God is true. And God is love, peace, joy, and abundance. Not sometimes, all the time. It's just the way it is. So learning to ask questions. And sometimes it's challenging because we're not used to these things. But really, who told you that? One way to get through a lot of life stuff is just ask yourself, is that God speaking? Try that. It really cuts through a lot of conversation you have in your head. God, I just, and oh man, and I don't think I can do this, and I don't think I can do that, and this is too much, and this is that God speaking? And when you look at somebody and go, God, look what she's wearing. Is that God speaking? And if not, then just catch it, own it. Because if it's not true, how much investment do you want to give it? It just asking questions. Asking questions means we wake up. Buddha was big on this, man. He's saying, Ask. Don't believe something because I tell you. Don't believe your teacher because your teacher said or a book said. Try it out. Investigate it. Prove it. See? That's metaphysics in its proper perspective. Try it out. You know, Jesus a couple times told the apostles, come see. That phrase means prove it. Even Thomas, you're doubting. Come touch. God is okay with us questioning things. Not in the philosopher's way, who questions and never wants answers. They just want to keep talking. Not in the activist's way. We question everything because they just are angry, so they don't want peace. That's different. We're talking about learning to question. Question things. Don't just take something on. You guys are looking for a minister. You know, 2 words advice. Don't settle. Yeah, don't settle. Now, if somebody wants to come here, they have to earn the right. They need to watch lots of video footage of you people to know just what they're getting into, man. No. And you have to say, here's us. This is our vibe. This is us. Now, do you think you can fit this vibe or higher? And whatever their answer is, it's probably not true. So ask them again and again. You really have to get this. This is what we're about. Because what happens is a minister's going to go, yeah, I hear you, but I have certain directions in the back of my mind that I'll just not talk about. I'll let you know after a few months of being there, and you'll all just have to go along. And that's not your vibe. Who are you? And with dating, who are you? Don't settle. Who are you? And some people go, but if you don't settle, you'll never date. Good. Good. It's called fasting. Don't settle. I've shared before, but you know, like it's an interesting life when you really decide to get spiritual. Getting spiritual doesn't just mean some certain facade on the outside and then still making all the same mistakes. If we really get spiritual, it's got to be real enough to permeate all aspects of our life. Who we choose as a minister, as this group, who we choose to date. Ask questions. Why? It may sound strange. Like if somebody asks me out, like I never really do such a thing. I'm not interested. I'm busy. You know, I really am busy, and that's not what I do much. But if somebody asks me out, imagine this. I'll say, really? Why? Really? Right. I mean, that shoots it all down immediately. So, and I realize that, but ask, why? And I don't mean I'm going to be rude to somebody. Let me get a notepad. Why do you want to, you know, but if somebody wants to make love to you, why? Even if it's your partner, your husband, wife, whatever, why? Well, I've got a lot of tension I want to work out. No. Why do you want to date me? Because you're so cute. Really? Well, I'll get home and take off the makeup, then what? I don't want you to date me because I'm cute. I don't want you to, and I'm talking for any of us. That's any of us that's the I. That's not the right reason. We should grow relationships. Isn't that what our workshop is today? Yeah. Relationship there. There we go. We'll talk about it more later. But ask questions. Who told you this? I'm getting older. I'm getting this. Who told you these things? None of them are true. And so we have to learn to respect the illusion, of course, but more importantly, know the truth. And the truth is, we're holy, glorious beings. We don't need to settle. People have to earn the right to touch your body, not because you're better than them, because you're honoring yourself of who you really are. Right? And you have to earn the right to touch theirs. You know, it's the same mutual respect, but who are we? We don't want to date based on grasping. You know, who are we? What are we doing, and why do we do the things we do? Learning to ask questions. Jesus suggested it. Of course, in Miracles, it stays consistent. Ask questions. Buddha suggested it, and yet it's not commonly talked about in the world of spirituality. Question things. Why? Where did you get this idea? So he says in A Course in Miracles, and Edgar Cayce was big on this too. Just stop and say, what is this? What is this? You know, there's this bill you can't pay and it's really upsetting you. Stop. We're not saying it doesn't appear to be there, but stop and say, what is this? Oh my God, what is this thing? I just realized there's a piece of paper that caused me to get depressed today. A piece of paper. Watch it, you know. Really? You know, I'm not saying be irresponsible, but they'll send you another copy later. But, you know, it'll say last warning. But who told you? Who told you you couldn't afford things? Who told you? This is only the past talking, and the past isn't here. So that means I'm being schizophrenic. I'm actually struggling with schizophrenia whenever I believe the world that isn't there is there. And we actually think other people in the world are diagnosed as schizophrenic. Everybody is schizophrenic because everybody believes in a world that isn't there. That's actually not healthy thinking. So we actually are turning it all around saying, God, how would you have me see this? How would you have me see myself? You know, I think of myself as I fail a lot. I don't get, you know, this and that, my past, my history. I have a history of this and whatever. How do you see me, God? And it's not like the genetics and all the history immediately dissipates. That can happen. But it starts with a feeling. Like it's like, even though I have debts, I feel peace. And as I start to feel peace, see, Solomon was asked, Solomon, you know, you're so devoted to God. You're like there. God says, we're going to gift you something because you're so committed. What would you like? And Solomon says, wisdom. What it means is, seek first the kingdom. Solomon did not ask for any stuff. He didn't say, well, I'd like to lose a few pounds. Or I'd like to, like the genie thing. Give me 3 more wishes. He said, wisdom. Why? Because as soon as you choose to have and to be synonymous with a feeling of God, seek first the kingdom. As soon as you choose to be synonymous with or the embodiment of love, peace, joy, wisdom, oneness, abundance, those are all God thoughts. As soon as we choose the thought of God, we have everything else. So the trick was that Solomon chose a God consciousness, wisdom. So this is what we call a mantra. Peace, love. You think about it consistently. What it is you choose to be. Peace and oneness, love and self-worth, joy and freedom. Pick your word or two and live them. Breathe them in every morning and night and any time through the day that you struggle. Breathe them in, the presence of God, because we're running on past programs. And we can find out those programs very easily. Just look at the most consistent feelings you have particularly behind your traumas. Well, if I look at all my traumas, the consistent feelings are, for example, pain, fear, low self-worth, a lack of safety, right? Those are not God feelings. I'm not saying you're wrong for feeling them. I'm saying they're based on history. My history has taught me to feel unsafe, unlovable, flawed, etc. Not things like overweight, but the feelings behind it. Those tell me the world, how I enter this world. I enter the world every morning with low self-worth or poverty consciousness or whatever it is. We walk into the world. As soon as you walk out your door, this frequency goes poof out to the world. And you go, well, not today because I read a good book. Really? Well, the book goes here in the head. But these frequencies are in the heart and soul. And they emanate. Knowledge just sits in your brain. Consciousness emanates. So if I have a history of, let's say, betrayal, whatever it may be, betrayal, abandonment, abuse, whatever my history is, it's not the history, it's the feelings behind them. And they cause me to feel unloved, unlovable, etc. That becomes my consciousness. And I don't even know it. All I know is I'm a pretty good person, and today I got betrayed again. It's because of the consciousness still being there, emanating. And there's people out there. They could live in Madagascar and they're going to find you. As soon as you walk out your door, there's this, and it's not that you know this, but you walk out the door just low self-worth. And somewhere, an antenna, beep, 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 and they find you. I'm hearing, their soul is going, I'm hearing there's somebody with low self-worth. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. And they find us. And then we go, I don't know how this happened. It looked like it was going to work out. That's because they didn't introduce themselves as, hi, I'm Mr. Betrayer. Nice to meet you. Everybody sets it all up to look a certain way. But we can only meet ourselves. We can't actually meet our saviors, per se. We only meet proportionate to ourselves. Peter had to rise to the level of consciousness, Christ within himself, to see the Christ in Jesus. That's why he was complimented for it. Jesus didn't go, man, that was the best answer because it makes me feel good. That was the best answer because it brought you to the highest answer. Brought you to the highest level of consciousness. That's what it's about. So we walk out our doors with these frequencies, and they need and can be healed. The more we learn about ourselves, it's not just realizing more of our wounds. Behind the wounds, look for the patterns. The low self-worth, whatever it happens to be, the patterns behind. Get those and work those. We're uprooting them. Because the past is not to determine who I am. Because first of all, the past isn't here. It's not real, it's not true, and it's not now. So I release those, and in the now, I choose something else. God's will. God's consciousness. And as we're coming to a close, that's our answer. And when we're not getting there, ask questions. I call it dismantle the illusions. Dismantle the things that aren't true. One way to do it, I said, ask questions. That's number one. But one of the ways to ask questions is keep asking, and what if? For example, I'm going on this date and I'm real nervous. Why? Well, because I haven't dated in a while, so then what? Well, so they may not like me, and then what? And then what? And then what? And then what? Bring it out to the fullest extreme. See, because what's happening is you don't believe you're lovable, and that's what you're fearing they're going to find out. They're not going to like you, and it's going to confirm your fears. So if you're going to enter such an arena, enter it with full consciousness, awareness of who you are. Don't do such things with a contingency on them getting it. They're just reflecting us anyway. And if I have low self-worth, the person's going to reflect that. That's it. The outer world just reflects our inner world, individually and collectively. So we can change the outer world by changing our inner world. And we change our inner world by healing. Please remember to question everything. Why is that? Where did I get that idea? You were brought up with ridiculous concepts. You're the pretty one, honey. Don't expect to be smart. You're smart. It's okay that you're not pretty. They lied to you. They lied to you. Can you imagine? I mean, even Jesus when he's a child. Jesus, where have you been? Where have you been? We've been looking for you. Did you not know I would be about my Father's business? He's a kid and he's already questioning things. He's already reflecting questions back to his parents. Man, I would have been smacked around. Your father's business. There's some father's business. And, our job, I don't mean that we're supposed to question things like in a rude way. I'm not saying go to work tomorrow and tick everybody off, your bosses and stuff. I'm talking about particularly inside. Where did you get that idea that you can't afford, that you're not good enough? When I was married in the 80s, I remember there were times when my kids would come and, Dad, could we get such and such? And I'd say, yeah. And they'd say, well, Mom said we can't afford, so I'd have to have a talk with Mom. Please. None of the we can't afford stuff. Let's find out how. Whatever they want, let's say, well, let's figure out how. Prayer, consciousness, affirmation, whatever, let's find a way. And it's amazing that humans, they try something out, they hit a roadblock, and then they just get deflated. Instead of dismantling the roadblock. Where did that roadblock come from? What I'll do is I'll sort of retreat inside. If I'm working with a group of people, let's say, and we run into a roadblock, and they're all in there, it can't be, oh, it's terrible, it's an ending, it can't. I don't want to hear this. So I'll kind of withdraw, sometimes literally away from others, because if I'm quiet, I'll sit, and I'll ask the question, okay, so we're trying this, can't be done, okay. Trying this can't be done, yeah. And I just sit with the idea and the question, and all of a sudden, another way to do it comes to me. All we have to do is sit and hold consciousness. God is. The rest of the world isn't. This is not a fight of good and evil. That's not what this is. There's only God. All we're doing is learning to get out of the way when we ask the right questions. Who told you so? And find out. Be courageous enough to investigate all the way to the end. Why are you so upset? Why are you so afraid? None of it's true. Nothing ever has had power over us. Nothing has ever established that we're anything but as God created us to be. And it's good news. God created us in its image. And now look around the room. God created us in its perfect image. And yet, he's bald, she's aging, she's near death, she's sick, he's this, he doesn't have money. And those are the stories we have. He shouldn't be wearing that color. It really is. Come on, he's a fall and it's, and that's a winter color, really. We have all these opinions. Look around the room. There's people wearing glasses. Why? Because they have poor eyesight. Really? Who told you that? Everything this world shows us substantiates the lie that people are flawed, and they are not. So our job is to be able to go, wow, isn't that amazing? Look what the not I am, the I am not is trying to convince me. The I am not is showing me there's overweight and there's this and oh, beautiful, handsome, etc., etc. They're all opinions and they're all lies. So God, I get the joke and I surrender it to you. Show me, God, how you see these folks. And then sit silently enough, long enough, and a wave of peace comes over you. Because it's not what you see that tells you who they are. It's what they are that tells you what they are. And it's Christ. It's holiness. This wave of holiness comes over us. And it is not just nice, it's actually very powerful, very proactively creative. This actually creates miracles in our life for me to get my opinions of you out of the way, my opinions of myself out of the way, and allow the truth to come in. That actually is proactive, powerful. And that's the answer. We're asking the Holy Spirit or the presence of God to show us, to teach, to be our teacher, our healer, and our guide in all matters. Show me how you see this, God. I got this bill and I don't know how to pay it. Show me how you see this bill. And something shifts in consciousness. And guys, it's not just that suddenly a miracle happened and a check showed up in the mail I didn't expect. That's cool when that happens. More importantly, a feeling of God's presence. Call on a feeling. Love, peace, joy, abundance, and such. Because if you have that, everything else is covered. If you have the presence of God, the miracles will come to dissipate the bill, whatever form that may take. It may even only be an idea of how to make payments that are manageable to yourself. That's also brilliant because it no longer kept you in hell of fear. Nothing ever has had power over us. Nothing ever will truly have power over us. Then why in God's name do we sit terrified of the world that isn't there? I'll close with this. I've shared this story here before and often, but it just seems so apropos. There's the story of a village, and near the village there's a mountain, and on the top of the mountain there's a dragon, ferocious. The people know of this dragon, they fear it day in and day out. And they know, down at the village, they know if they make too much of a ruckus, if they make too much noise, if they're not just stuffed down quiet, they could arouse this thing and it's going to, of course, fly down like dragons do and destroy the village. But there's this one inquisitive child that just couldn't resist. I want to go and peek and spy and, see if I can see this dragon, because we haven't seen it in a long time. So the child crawls up the mountain, climbs up the mountain, gets to the top over the last rock and looks, and there's the dragon, looking, yes, ferocious, large, and so on. But it senses the child's there. Who are you? What do you want? And the child says, oh, I'm so sorry. My name is, gives its name. And it says, what do you want? I just wanted to see who you were because I've heard all about you. And as moments go by, they begin to talk. And they realize, oh, it's a pretty decent conversation. The child asking questions, the dragon's very nice, answers questions, ends up being quite nice, this dragon. And so the child says, well, thank you for talking, and thank you for sharing time with me and allowing me to come up here and talk to you and not destroying me, killing me. I'm going to go back to my village now. The dragon says, okay. And then the child says, one last question. The dragon says, what? And the child says, what is your name? And the dragon says, people call me many things, but most people just refer to me as what might happen. So the village lives in fear of what might happen if they come too much to life. This world is going to try to tell you things are going to go wrong if you question its reality. If you come to life, don't dance too much. Don't look too happy. Someone just died. You're supposed to be miserable, but I feel joy for them. No, be miserable. Because we don't know what's on the other side. I feel pretty confident of what's on the other side. No, you shouldn't. Be afraid. Be afraid of everything. That's how this world is. And you're trying to say no against a world that's completely against that. That's why I wrote a book and called it, You're Not Going Crazy, You're Just Waking Up. You were crazy. And now it's the crazy people that are getting upset that you're waking up. Please take a few centering breaths. Set aside all else. Set aside the conscious thoughts and illusions and issues, the stuff of the day. You can always pick it up again when you go out the door, if it's that important. Set it all aside. And we withdraw to a quiet place in the center of our soul. And it's in that quiet, centered place that is an altar. And our minds and our religions have taught us many things about what to put on the altars of God. Pictures, trinkets, ashes, incense, bells, gongs, all kinds of things. And they're all beautiful. But what God actually asks of us, and we're supposed to learn to ask God, what would you have me put on the altar today? God says the only thing that's real is you. And I would like you to put anything that isn't real on the altar. It seems a strange exchange. God's asking for our illusions so it can give us reality. So in this moment, let's allow to arise in our hearts something that is not to be us any longer. The past, a pattern, an addiction, whatever it happens to be. It can be a pain of the past, or a habit that's rooted in the past. Decide what isn't to be you anymore. Make it clear, be honest and courageous, and choose to put that on the altar. See yourself placing that thing. It can be literally in the form of your hands placing something, or a burden being lifted up out of you to the heavens. it still remains a pain, a fear, a limitation, something that was never, ever God's will for you. Let's give that thing up to the altar of God. And imagine the heart of God swelling in joy, excitement that its child, and it's true that it's happy that its child is willing to give something up that kept it in hell, that kept that child of God in a limiting world. And God knows that by doing this, we are not healed alone, but all the children of God collectively are rising from this change by this choice. They are being lifted. And imagine the joy of all other human beings saying thank you to you. Even people you thought didn't like you, on a soul level, they're grateful that you're helping to lift a burden that even without realizing it, they too are carrying. So we surrender for one and for all. And it's lifted and it's dissipated. And in return, a beautiful stream of light comes from the heavens. Golden, bright light, beaming down through the top of our head, shining pure light into our hearts. And into our hearts comes the presence of God. It is grace, it is love, it is peace, it is joy. Breathe it in vividly. Breathe it in with conviction. Feel the feeling of yes to that. It's deserving. We're deserving of this. It's God's presence, and it fills our hearts and souls. Let our souls now breathe it in, soak it up, and on every exhale, let it wash over your body so that it reprograms every cell of the body as well, not just the mind, not just the heart and soul, every cell, every particle of our being. We are rising. We were asleep, now we're awake. We were dead, and now we are arisen. And this is God's will for us. And for just one more minute, now visualize the as-ifs, the question. Visualize, what would my life look like if I truly am what I just called in? If this light of God is beaming into my heart, soul, mind, and body, if I am transformed, how can I expect this to look in my day-to-day life, my health, my finances and such, my partnerships? What would they look like? Visualize them so that you can program these ideas into the matrix of life. Call it in, visualize it out. Spend a half minute more seeing this, and then quietly giving thanks, and then we'll move into the next part of the service. But take your time with it.
As we're in the silence, please hold any loved ones and others in prayer by saying their names out loud. We bless all these beautiful souls and everyone around the world that is in need of prayer support. We see them in their wholeness and their wellness and in joy. And so it is. Do you feel lighter? I do. In a moment, we will be receiving our tithes and offerings. We invite streamers to join with us. There's a donation button below the streaming box. And first, we'd like to take a moment to recognize our chaplains. Chaplains are available for prayer after service. Would you all please stand or raise your hand as you are able so that you can be recognized? Thank you all. Whatever you have in your heart that you would like to have held in prayer, please see one of these beautiful souls after the service. And now let's hold our tithes and offerings in our hands. We invite those who are streaming to join with us in the blessing of tithes and offerings. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
When my wings were heavy and I could not fly, I was haunted by dreams that were meant to come true. Love was there, but I couldn't see it until the voice of salvation came shining on through. When you said, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be.
Divine Spirit, thank you for being our true provider. We bless these tithes and offerings and send them out to do the will and the work of God. Amen. I would just like to thank Michael one more time for the beautiful message. Thank you. And now Carol is here to tell us some more.
I'll try to keep the announcements as brief as possible. All right, well, we have more Michael coming up Tuesday night, and this is a change in his schedule. So he will be talking about an evening of miracles. It's all about the principles of miracles and healing. It's here in the sanctuary from 7 to 9. And we're just so blessed that he will also be doing an evensong service. It's something we haven't been presenting on Wednesdays through the transition. So thank you. And I'm delighted to say that Reverend David and Irene Tompkinson are our guest speakers next Sunday. I see them. So nice. So nice to have you here today and also to be our guest speakers. I understand that you will be talking about spirituality and really talking about your own spiritual journey as well and sharing your music with us. Thank you. We have a class that's coming up. It's a week from tomorrow night, Monday nights. It's a 7-week commitment. It's with Tom Pellini, who is on the track of a licensed Unity teacher. It is advanced prosperity and just learning more tools to live your life prosperously. And that is 7 o'clock in the Oneness Room. Operation Backpack, this is sponsored by Youth and Family. It's the Pettingill House who puts the backpacks together, but it's been a tradition here that congregants bring in school supplies, mostly for middle school and high school kids. They really need things like notebooks and notebook paper, Post-its, index cards, that sort of thing. So the bins will be at either door starting next Sunday. And we're so blessed to have Lisa Natoli here. Stand up. Lisa is going to be a guest speaker here on August 17th, and she's also presenting a workshop, Living More Abundantly. And I know you and Bill, this is your life practice. One of them is to live in abundance. It's not just money, it's love, it's relationships, it's all there is. So thank you. And you also have a packet, most of you, and in that is detail of everything that I've said. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. I just also want to mention that there's a table out in the bookstore with all of Michael's books and his DVDs and all of his materials. So please check things out there. If there's so many people here, if we run out of anything, we can certainly order some more for you. And I just want to thank everyone. Thank you, Meg, Maura, the music team, the choir. Thank Greg on PowerPoint, Mark, and Linda. Welcome, Linda, on streaming, and Tammy, and everybody that has been part of creating this service and that is part of creating Unity on the River every week. And now I'd like to ask our board members to stand. We've got John Davey, Elaine, Paula, Mark, Peter. Excellent. Board members are available if you have any questions or want to discuss anything. Please see them after the service. And now, yes, I am ready.
ready to be part of the transformation of consciousness to joy, love, peace, abundance? Are you ready? All right, let's do it. Chuck Walker.
Fabulous, Maggie. We are ready. Thank you. We are ready for the kids to come in. Youth and Family Ministry. Are we ready?
We are walking at the light of God. 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 We are walking, walking, we are walking.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We had a great turnout today of children, as you can see. And yes! Woohoo! Our lesson today was Kids Make a Difference. And they certainly do. And the reason why we did that is because we're preparing the kids for the Yankee Homecoming Parade. And our theme is Kids Make a Difference as peacemakers. So we talked about peace today, and the younger children had a story that they listened to about Polly, who creates peace in the world, a little boy who's 7. And the greatest way that he makes peace, he has acts of kindness for different people and apologizes when he makes mistakes, but he makes them cupcakes. He spreads cupcakes all over the world. Isn't that great? Or all over his community. That was a really nice way to be a peacemaker. And the older kids did something special, and I'm going to let Renee have a few moments to say what they did.
Namaste. We, in keeping with our theme, we've been writing these poems every week, and last week was about ourselves, but this week was about how we can help others, and we decided we couldn't decide on one, so we did, you want to hold it? We did peace, and then we did family, and we did friends. And we made all the words to go with it. How to be a good friend, how to spread peace.
That's it. Okay. Excellent. Thank you all for joining us today. Please take the message from Michael and Unity on the River out into the world and be inspired. We will now sing our peace. Oh, who wants to pray with me? All right. And now we'll sing our peace song. Okay. Can you come this way?